December, I was embedded with British troops in Basra. Basra is about 250 miles south of Baghdad, around 100 miles north of Kuwait, and 100 miles south of the Iranian border. British forces have controlled southern Iraq and have been headquartered in Basra since the end of the invasion in 2003. They peaked at around, I believe, 10,000 troops in the immediate aftermath of the invasion, and have steadily cut forces ever since.
Primarily, I look after the Royal Air Force contingent, which is supporting air operations in southeast Iraq. But a very important secondary role that we have here is in the redevelopment of Basra International Airport. It was built in the 80s, and then throughout the sort of period of conflict in the 90s and right up till 2003, it was barely used. It was effectively mothballed and began to decay. When we moved in here in 2003, initially it was to be used for British military flights, but at the same time, and from the very beginning, we started to redevelop it with a view to eventually handing it back to the Iraqis. And here we are 4 years later, getting very close to that point. And already the Iraqis are taking responsibility for a large number of aspects of the operations here. When the airport was built under Saddam's regime, there was very little choice for the management in how they went about their business, how they ran their budget. Some of the vestiges of that bureaucracy still exist, and part of my job is assisting the management in unlocking Baghdad and accessing the funds from the budget from the Ministry of Transportation and working within the Iraqi Civil Aviation Authority.
So what's the time frame, do you think? About how long will it take to get this airport fully functional and in Iraqi hands?
Fully functional and in Iraqi hands will be a matter of years. Although that seems a long way distant, there are various steps along the way, the most significant of which will be handing air traffic control to them and commissioning their radar next summer. And at each step of the way, whether it's air traffic, whether it's radar, whether it's flight operations, each step will be the UK taking one step back and the Iraqis taking a step forward. So every month from now and for the next 12 months there'll be a key step in the way.
So what's the value of the work, the dollar value?
The dollar value in various programs over the 4 years and projects that are still underway is about 25 million US. But to put that into context, that's things like replacing the radar, replacing the runway lights, refurbishing the terminal, fire detection and suppression systems, all of the things that you would expect in any modern international terminal. There's the human capital as well, the human involvement, and that's where my team have got involved, and that's developing the air traffic controllers, the firefighters, working with the Department of Border Enforcement, the security team in the airport. All of that's been done by Air Force personnel over the years. As you know, Basra is the second city in Iraq. It's in a critical strategic part of the country because of the oil fields, the access to the Gulf, the port, and the large population down here. So, as with any regional airport that with an international set of routes, it has of huge importance to the locals. It means they can get out to the world, and the world can come to Basra.
How long have you been in this position?
كم عدد سنين يعني في هذه الوظيفة؟
مدة 3 سنوات.
About 3 years.
And you've received training and assistance from the British military?
هل يعني تعرضت لأي تدريب من قبل القوات البريطانية؟
دخلنا كورس مصغر، وبعد هذا الكورس سافرت إلى لندن واطلعت على أعمال مطار هيثرو في لندن ومطار جاتوك ومطار بيجنهام في إنجلترا.
Yes, I had a short-term training program here, followed by a visit to United Kingdom, whereby I have been exposed to operations in Heathrow Airport, Gatwick, and المطار الثاني
بيجنهام.
Yes, the Basra International Airport is a very strategic airport in the region. As you know, we are bordering a number of Gulf states. This, in return, is going to bring in a number of investment opportunities to the city and to the region as a whole.
And what's your position here?
My position here, I'm security here on this terminal.
So the British have been training you to do airport security?
Yeah.
So what was the training like?
They are training us for everything for security here at the airport, for the passenger, for security airlines, for security airplanes, for every security things.
How long was the training?
I'm training for 1 year, nearly 1 year. They're training us.
What did you do before you took this job?
I don't have any. I'm engineer for computers, and I like my job here.
Andy Bowley, I'm the RAF Senior Air Traffic Control Officer here at Basra Airport.
So you have a role in preparing Iraqi air traffic controllers to take over the role, the ATC role at the Basra Airport now?
Currently, air traffic control services, the provision of those services is shared between the Royal Air Force, who are providing all the radar services here, and the control services in the visual control room at night. But currently during the day, it's Iraqi controllers who are providing the services to the aircraft landing and taking off under the supervision of instructors from an American company.
So how close are they to being ready?
We've already endorsed, or the American company have already endorsed approximately 16 of those controllers in various control positions, both in the ground control, in the aerodrome control, and also in the supervisory position up here in the visual control room.
But one additional question. I mean, Iraq has a tradition of civil aviation. What is it that's required 5 years of training to get them back up to speed?
There simply haven't been the movements. There hasn't been the infrastructure in terms of the support for the instructors to sustain the current level of controllers, to sustain their currency, and also to bring new controllers through. There are an awful lot of young controllers who are coming up through the training school that's been provided here. A very small number of controllers who've been here a long time. So it's very much a question of taking on the new blood, getting new controllers through the system, validating them in the positions which they're controlling, from the environment that they're now facing.